Hello and welcome to Salt City Gamescast. This is episode 156. My name's Nick Naylor. Sitting across from me is Jared Hall.
Yo, what's up?
Not too much. Same old shit, I guess.
You got a fucking goddamn disaster area in your backyard right now.
Yeah, it's an issue. There's just a lot of shit, and it's too hot to get motivated to clean it up. And we cleaned out our whole garage and sprayed because my house doesn't have cockroaches, but my neighborhood does.
Yeah,
and that's an issue a little bit. I'm not super.
Sure.
I don't consider myself like a fan, a cockroach fan over here. Like,
yes,
I'm not raising them or anything.
Yeah,
and yeah, like we just like we could see them in our garage; they'd be dead. And then I've seen them alive occasionally out like in the road. And it's like, well, this is the problem. So we like cleaned everything out.
Yeah.
So when we spray, then like all the corners are hit. And it's like, all right, get fucked, guys, get out of here.
Yeah, we saw one after we were done. We were talking about it the prior recording, and you were like, I think that they're cockroaches. And then when we were walking out of the recording area last time, there was just a cockroach in your backyard, and you were like, "Is that a cockroach?" And I'm like, "100%, that's a cockroach."
There's like this bad stigma with them too. You're just like, oh, roaches. Like, that's
yeah, for sure.
Like
it is a bad stigma, but I mean, to be fair, they're kind of fascinating. Like, I don't want them around me. They're gross, but man, they're fucking resilient creatures. Been around forever. They've survived fucking, nuclear extinction and fucking, the extinction of the dinosaurs. They're pretty impressive little fuckers.
Yeah, you can't beat them. So
no, you cannot.
I've just had a lot of problems with nature between the raccoon, the roaches.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an issue.
At least we don't have the big hissing cockroaches in North America.
I can't deal with that shit.
Yeah, those things are intense, man.
I can't deal with big bugs. I think that's I would have a hard time going to the rainforest or anything like that.
Yeah, that's where they're at.
Anything where it's just like, all those things that you have around you that are normal. You know how in movies they're huge? They're like that here too.
Yeah. I just
Oh.
read an article about this like new species of spider that was found in this like remote cave system in Mexico. And they are roughly the size of a softball.
I just can't.
And they just live in this cave, and they've just been isolated to just hang out and live their spider lives for however long. And now we're just discovering them. It's fucking crazy how little we know about the world that we inhabit. We're like the top dogs, smart as fuck. And then it's just like, have you ever heard of the ocean before? It's a fucking like uncharted territory. There's so much shit we don't know. And then like land as well. It's just crazy. It's kind of hard to fathom.
Yeah. Yeah. Constantly finding new shit.
Yeah.
We're trying to and dying at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, dude. I watched a documentary about that shit. And boy, oh boy. That guy
about that. What was that?
Was the Ocean Gate, Discovery Ocean Gate shit. What an absolute
fucking Tyco game controller to get themselves down to the bottom of
it. It was a Logitech controller that they used. Which, if you're on a budget, that's a great controller, as far as I understand. If you're looking for a PC controller, but yeah, like just all of the things that he did. There's like a rating system for, deep sea submersibles that you're supposed to like get certified before you go down. And he was just like, we're not doing that. And then he developed the hull out of carbon fiber when like no one had ever done that before. And in the subsequent or prior, I should say, dives down to the Titanic, they would hear like massive cracking going on. Like just there, and in the documentary, there's like audio of it cracking, and you're like, this is not great. And then he hired this guy that like went on expeditions with Jacques Cousteau to like smooth over people like these millionaires, these 1%ers concerns. And he was just basically down there to be like, this is normal. These noises are normal. And then it got to a point where there was like one big crack over, 5 or 6 launches down to the Titanic. And then after that, it just got progressively worse and worse and worse until it finally happened. So he like knowingly put these people in danger because he wanted to be like fucking ocean Elon Musk. What a fucking piece of shit. Rest in piss, you fucker. That might have been an inflammatory comment.
I mean,
but he was a fucking piece of shit.
Considering my opinions on Elon Musk these days, I think he is ocean Elon Musk. I think he did it. I think he's pretty much out on the same line.
Yeah, 100%. It's an interesting documentary, though. You should go check it out if you're interested.
All right, I can do that. We're still on the orgeat train. I've been making a lot of cocktails. I have a lot of recipes that are they're not all good, but there's some really interesting ones I've been making and just testing on my family. Just my wife, not my kids, but just
like,
just my be like, what do you think of this? And she's like, this fucking blows. But there's another one
this fucking blows
that I didn't make today, and I should actually make it for you. It's extremely bitter, and I don't know if you would like it. I despise it, but she liked it, so I was like, oh well, maybe it has some redeemable things here. I don't know. So
okay,
maybe I really don't want to drink it though, since I didn't like it at all. But
all
this
right.
thing has orgeat and the mezcal that you gave me quite some time ago, and some lime juice and some bitters, and that's it. What do you think of it?
It's all right. I don't hate it by any means. It's got a weird flavor profile that I can't really put my finger on. I will say that it's pretty complex for like the amount of ingredients that are in it. So I've just been going back and forth, like, what is it? It looks like watered down Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, it's got to be just the bitters that do that. There's no, and that would be because there's no color, right? There's the mezcal is clear, the orgeat is dark and cloudy, and then you add that little bit of colored bitters, and it just kind of.
I think it's like it's pretty balanced, like that acidic lime, and then the orgeat with that like smokiness in the mezcal. It's balanced out pretty nicely. I don't hate it at all. I give it like a 6 or a 7.
I got it off Reddit, but it's actually an actual. Someone just posted it, but then it's a Port of Spain is what it's called. I would drink it. I don't know that it's going to ever enter into my
rotation
making these, but I think I've only made one other mezcal cocktail, and that was just the margarita mixture I made last year for us. And I want to find something to do with it. And because the smoke is nice, it's just a little hard because it's very fruity, right? It's very, it's very fruity. You could have it out on the patio, and then the smoke is kind of like, well, what are you doing here? Like, what do you what are we doing? But
right.
Maybe it goes well with a cigar. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. It's interesting for sure.
But I don't know. That's that. We've got a number of games to talk about. It's a little bit of a slow season, I guess. The summer slow, maybe, kind of. Yeah. There's not a lot of huge releases besides Donkey Kong, but you've mentioned it a couple times before our shows, like, hey, we might be able to talk about this. Raidou. Is that only on the Switch? I know it's on the Switch.
No, I think it's on all platforms.
Okay. I
maybe not the Xbox, but PlayStation and PC for sure.
I saw it on the store and thought about buying it, but I have not played it. Tell me about it.
Okay, yeah. So the version that's coming out now is like a remaster of a 2006 release.
Oh,
so it came out in 2006 originally, and this was before the big SMT boom. When Persona really like kind of elevated that series to major success.
Did it come to the States?
Yeah, it did. It did originally come to the States on the PlayStation 2. And yeah, I mean, it's an SMT game. So like a lot of the things that you would come to expect from those types of games. The big difference with this one is it's not a turn-based combat system. It's a real-time combat system. So it's unique in that way. But a lot of the same kind of things that you would be doing in any SMT game, less so Persona and more like Shin Megami Tensei games or Devil Summoners. In fact, I believe that this is like a spin-off of the Devil Summoner game originally. So, you're capturing demons. You're doing your favorite thing, negotiating with demons to get them into your party. I will say that it's
there since the beginning.
Yeah, it has.
Except I don't remember it in 4, right?
In Persona 4?
Yeah.
There is like a little bit of it, but it's not. Yeah. The Persona series has dumbed it down quite a bit in comparison to like the more proper mainline SMT games for sure.
I swear to God, if it's in 6, I'm just going to lose my fucking mind. It's so dumb. It's if it was at least intuitive, like you could like kind of get it right, but it's just like Do you like baths or taking showers? You're like, fucking, I don't know what this monster prefers. And why would I?
And then it's just chart. You got to go to a chart. Some
so
nerd has created a spreadsheet where it's like this kind of demon appreciates these responses. And it's just like, I don't want to do this, man. Like, I agree with you. I don't love the mechanic, but it's not a deal breaker in the way that it has been for you. I don't mind it. And the way that it works in this game is kind of unique because it's a real-time combat system, like I said. So you approach the demon and then you get it in this like this circle basically that appears on the ground, and then you just mash A. And if the monster is within like a couple of levels of you, you can capture it, and then it'll just ask you one question. It's not like a series of questions like in some other SMT games. And I don't think that I've failed on any of them, but I haven't put a ton of time into this game. But yeah, so there's that. But the combat's kind of unique in the way that it functions, where you control Raidou, and then you have up to 2 demons with you at any given time. And it follows the same structure as any of like the turn-based systems where there's weakness exploits and things like that.
So you don't have a human-based party?
No, it's just you and demons. And you can switch the demons out on the fly at any time. So, you know, if there's a monster that's weak to electricity and you've got one in your party, like your overall party, you can just switch it in, and then it'll do damage to them. And the demons kind of act independently, and they've got pretty good AI, I would say. Like, I've never been like, I need fucking heals over here, Healy demon. And it's just like dicking off in the corner. Like, they usually are pretty on top of it. And then, you know, also if there's a weakness to exploit, they usually are pretty on top of getting the demon weak for you. But yeah, it's pretty basic, like combat system from like a combos perspective. You know, there's different button endpoints to do different combo abilities and attacks and things like that. But it's pretty fun. It's good. You also have a gun. I should say this is set in the Taisho era in Japan, which is like from 1912 to like 1936 or 35, like right before World War II.
Right before some shit went down.
Right before some shit went down. And the Taisho area is like well known as being like the first era where Japan kind of accepted a lot of Western influence. So like the aesthetic, anything in the Taisho period, except for fucking Sakura Wars, because that series is irredeemable and garbage. It's a really beloved time period in Japanese history, and like I do like the aesthetics, right?
I like that time period across the board.
Okay,
just 20s, like just everything about it. Like
this is specifically set in 1920. So.
I read a decent amount of books. Like, I seek them out because I'm just like, speakeasies.
Yeah.
Hiding and drinking booze. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
All that shit's awesome.
Yeah. It's cool. And you're a part of this detective agency. You're just a strapping young lad that is like, hey, you want to be a demon detective? And you're like, yeah, I do. And then you're a demon detective, which like there's a little bit more to it than that. But that's basically what it is. So no one is more suited to fight the forces of evil than a teenage boy.
The demon detective.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Japan, they've got it down. So,
but you said it was a remaster, so
it is
this hard on the eyes?
Pretty rough on the eyes. I will say this: we talked a little bit about this off air, but this is a Switch 2. It's on the Switch 2. And I'm a physical guy. I don't want to fucking download this bullshit. And the physical version of this, in air quotes, for the Switch 2 is a game key card, which are the dumbest fucking thing ever.
I forget if we've talked about them in this room. I forget if it was
we haven't talked about them on the podcast. Yeah, so the game key card thing is a giant mess. There was like a developer from Arc System Works that just basically spilled the tea on Reddit. about how Nintendo has like handled the game key cards. They're essentially just SD cards, right? But the Switch 2 uses the fastest version of this SD card technology. I can't remember the proper name for it, but it's the fastest reading and writing SD card, and they're very expensive to put a game on, right? And so to avoid some of those costs, Nintendo is basically just made these game key cards where there's no data on the
there.
SD card. You put it into your Switch, it basically passes a DRM test, and then you can go and download the game from the eShop.
So yeah, the downside is you have to download it, and the downside is if the eShop goes away, what exactly do you have?
Which it will.
What do you have?
You don't have anything is the answer.
Yeah.
And so it's a huge problem, and it didn't have to be this way because previously Nintendo had different sizes of SD cards available to publishers. So depending on the size of your game, you could go to Nintendo and say, we're interested in publishing on your platform. We need X amount of space for our game. And then Nintendo would allow you to put your game on, whatever sized SD card you needed.
But you would buy the appropriately sized
correct
card. I think what you were explaining to me is that right now everyone's getting priced out because everyone has to get the biggest one,
right?
Even if you are a tiny game.
Correct. You're absolutely right. And so I believe these big ones they're up to 65 gigs that you can put on the card, and even their first party games like Mario Kart reported that they are using half of the storage on for the physical card. So it's just a mess. Why are you not allowing people to just fucking pick from a SKU of different size cards? It makes no difference. So it's a terribly boneheaded move. It's not going well for Nintendo either. They're selling these game key cards at a snail's pace, and third-party publishers are very upset about it. So it's just a mess.
I mean, especially because a lot of these games are on all systems. So then you're telling people, well, why buy it here? Why buy it on the Nintendo system if you can go over to the PS5 and you can get your disc that you want, if that's what you want? For me, none of this impacts me. I have moved fully digital. I have no intent of buying a physical game until like Xenoblade comes out or Nier or something, and then I'll get like the deals of the collectors. But outside of that, I'm not going to touch it. But that doesn't mean that I can't look at it and be like, well, like I'm just one dude. That's my choice, right? I understand that a lot of people fucking want that shit.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons. Like game preservation stuff. There's just a lot there that's like really concerning.
Yeah.
That they're doing that.
For sure.
You hope that it's good, but like in 20 years, like even if Nintendo is still in business, in 30 years, what is this doing? What does this look like? Can you still play this game on the Switch in 30 years, even if Nintendo's still going? I don't know.
I think the answer is no. But the answer to Nintendo being around still is probably yes.
But if the answer is no, doesn't it somewhat also apply to Steam? If we look at the Nintendo situation and say, well, the answer is that you're never going to be able to play it, should we feel good about the Steam purchases?
Yes, because the Steam is a ever-going platform that it presumably will just continue to exist in its current state. I mean, albeit with updates and probably new versions of Steam. But the core of what Steam is this continuity from a continuity perspective is those games are always there, right?
But will they always work in that
well, we run into that issue now with games on Steam,
right? So there's still you still have concerns with buying digital on Steam because there's still plenty of things that are going to get. They're not updated anymore because the developer's gone.
Yeah.
And now we're on Windows 18 and the thing just doesn't fucking run anymore. Right?
Well, yeah, but the counter to that is it's not a closed off ecosystem like a Nintendo or any of the console hardware is. I mean, if you're smart, you can do whatever you want on those platforms. But for the most part on PC, if you want to play a game from like the 90s, it's probably not going to run on a modern system. Unless you're fucking good and can figure out how to get it to run on a modern system. People do this all the time.
Absolutely.
Right. So like, that's not the biggest concern, that I think that there are plenty of games in our libraries that if we tried to boot them up, they would not run without a little bit of work behind the scenes. But there is some fucking nerd out there that you can go find on Reddit that has figured it all out and can help you.
I think his name's actually Brett Shoemaker. It was like a year ago or something on the Nextlander. He had a really old PC and he was tinkering and he was setting up really old games that he had the stuff for, and he was doing it. It was I wish I could remember the episode because it was really interesting to hear him talk about it.
It's cool that that's the way that it works, but Nintendo does not play by the same rules, and Sony and Microsoft for that matter as well. And I think of the three, I think Nintendo will be the most resistant to have this ever evolving ecosystem of games. Like, I think that they look at it as this is the time, this is the platform, and when this platform has sunsetted and we move on to the next thing, it's a brand new thing. Start from fucking scratch, because they want people to buy the games over and over and over and over again. And so that's the huge concern with this. It's all gross. It's bad. I really don't like it at all, and it's just boneheaded. And you're not making any friends with a lot of these third party developers that are like, we're putting out an indie game, but it would be cool if we could put out a physical version. And it's like, and not have to use this giant fucking SD card for a tiny little game.
Well, I think they're completely priced out.
Absolutely.
Because I think if your game is $19.99, it's not an option.
It is not.
It's just not a thing that you can even do.
You have to take all of this with a grain of salt. But the dude from Arc System Works said that, like, for a third party developer, the wholesale price for the card was around like $20.
That's
right?
So crazy.
So that's wholesale. You know what I mean? So it's just a giant fucking mess, and it just doesn't make any sense. So, long way to say, I did not buy the fucking Switch 2 version of Raidou, and I went and bought the Switch 1 version, which the whole game is on the card.
I forgot that you told me that in the text.
Yes. So at least I can go back and play this game because the whole fucking game is on the Switch 1 cart.
There's no difference here, right? Like,
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if there's like some significant performance upgrades with the Switch 2 version. I can't say. And I don't care enough to go and find out, Nick. But what I will say is this game, this is like a lowercase remaster, I would say. It's not a bad looking game by any means, but it looks like a PlayStation 2 game. I mean, it runs exceptionally well, as you would expect from a game that came out in 2006 originally. But it is definitely not like remastered in the way that we've seen some other games where it's like, this is basically a remake, not a remaster. This is 100% just, making the visuals look a little bit better, probably tweaking some elements of the gameplay and some of the balancing and things like that. But yeah, I think honestly, like, just with all of the games that are out and the things that, we're constantly dealing with here on the podcast, it would probably be unlikely that I will finish this thing. But
do you know how long it is?
I think it's like 40 or 50 hours. And then you can probably stretch it out significantly from there. But yeah, I think that if you're a fan of Atlas, Sega, and the SMT series, this is worth a look for sure. I think that it was overlooked initially. Some of the box art kind of like elicited some Nazi vibes originally.
What?
Yeah, there's like a dude on the front of the original game.
Hey guys, I think the swastika's got to go.
No,
I think it was a bad move, and especially having two.
Yeah,
I don't know why
it's not that overt, but it's like a dude with like a Hitler mustache, who, to be fair, is supposedly like the big baddie in this game.
Sure.
The other thing that's kind of interesting about it is you're a detective, right? So you're like solving crime and things like that. And there is some like light gameplay elements of like you go into a house and you got to like suss out the situation. And really what it boils down to is you just whip out one of your fucking demons out of your pocket. They live in tubes, which is funny because it's like, Raidou got more tubes, and I'm like, yeah, he fucking did. But you whip out a demon, and then they all do different things for you. So you basically do like Jedi mind tricks on people, and like, tell me what happened in the fucking study, and then they're like, yeah, fucking Lord Calvert beat his wife to death with a candlestick. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I'll say that, and it's cool that it's here because I think it was like you don't hear a lot of people in like in the list of SMT games really talk about this one.
Sure.
But it is unique enough with that real time combat system to kind of stand out from other games. So if you're really not a fan of turn based, this one might be the one for you.
All right.
That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, great. Well,
Mhm.
I think the bigger message
Do
is
better, Nintendo.
is the mess of the game key card that Nintendo has created there, but that is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And I already am getting plenty of those key cards, and it's really weird.
You're getting key cards?
Well, no, like, have you bought anything from the e-store?
Yeah, I bought that racing game that's like Wipeout.
Well, like, I don't get key cards, but like, why do they have the graphic where it's like I buy Donkey Kong online,
Mhm.
and then I click on it in the menu after I purchased it, and it pulls up this thing, and it's like virtual key card, and it shows like the card being pushed into the thing.
Yeah, I believe it's
and just like, why does it do that?
I believe it's if you have 2 Switches registered to your account. That's what it's doing.
Huh.
It's like because it will ask you like who's using this or whatever, and then
Is
you
that
select
the
it.
reason it's
Yeah,
doing that?
yeah.
Okay.
So if you like wiped your original Switch
Mhm.
and just factory reset it and got rid of all of your information, I think that it would fix that.
Okay.
I had that same problem.
Because I've just been scratching my head at the entire graphic where I'm just like, I just bought this. What are we doing?
Pretty sure that that's
are we
what it
fucking
is. I could be wrong,
Uh,
but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
Okay, so just randomly, I don't know how I got on this game. I mentioned at the end of the last show, but Blasphemous 2, it came out in 2023. It's a Metroidvania side scroller deal, and it was part of the Steam summer sale. And I'm actually playing it on the Switch, but when usually those sales kind of transfer to all platforms, and it did on this one as well. I think I paid $3 or something for this thing. But it came up, and I was like, oh, what is this? Just looking at it, and then went and looked at like the Steam reviews, and it's just like overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
And it's just like across the board, and people are just like, this thing's just fucking great. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, maybe I've heard the name, but I just didn't know anything about it. So I was like, sure, I will fucking do it. I like these games. I usually play a couple a year and bring them to this show. So I played it, and I would say it was a little bit of a slow burn to kind of grab me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just because there's basically 3 different weapons, and it's kind of interesting. You choose which weapon you start with, and then you organically find those other ones you don't pick at the beginning, which is just, it's kind of interesting because they both have like very specific abilities, so they unlock certain doors or pathways and allow you to get to different things. So it's kind of interesting they let you pick which one you want to start with instead of being like, you're gonna need this one. But it's it's sword, or like dual swords, single sword, and a huge hammer type deal. And I just had the dual swords and was playing it essentially like a parry game, because you have a parry with that sword.
Mm-hmm.
And that was going fine. And I was like, yeah, that's just how this game is. It's one of those. And I'm making my way through it. In the first 5 hours, I'm like, this is okay. It's super churchy, Christiany. I don't know. Like the whole thing is just said in a whole lot of God stuff.
I mean, it's literally called Blasphemous, Nick.
I know, but it's they really double down.
Yeah,
it's kind of their whole deal. And I will say, there's been a lot of I've read things, and it's like, you should play the first one because of the story, and like, I have cared no fucks about the story in this game, and maybe some people do, but that's just not a thing. But the gameplay, the mechanics, and the kit here ends up really, really good, and I like it quite a bit. But I maybe about, I don't even know if it was halfway through, you get the big fucking hammer, and that's the thing, and there's no, you're no longer playing the parry game.
okay.
And there's a lot of builds in like all these have, and the variety is pretty good. It's pretty fucking good on what even you can cater, like the number of different paths with each weapon, and what you can equip yourself to change those things is really interesting. And there's like, they call it rosaries, and that's basically, we'll call it an amulet. it's going to do what you think. It's going to have a skill or whatever. It's going to do resistances, stuff like that. You unlock more of them, and you can equip like 6 of them. Where it gets interesting is these altar pieces, and you have like this, which is like these little statues, super churchy statues, but they're like these wood carvings. Essentially, you're getting them from this guy, and you end up with 8, and you unlock more slots. But they're pairs of 2 in your back, and you put them in you put these altar pieces in your back, and it's like, hey, just so you know, if you pair certain ones together, stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it does not do a good job telling you what that is, and you need to go to the internet like a Dark Souls game, because some of it is drastic, as in like I have the hammer has a special ability that is fire, and it completely changes it to a poison attack, and you would not know what was going on. You wouldn't even fully understand how it happened, which is too bad that it doesn't surface like the details, because once you go to the internet and you can see like, okay, here's the easy combinations, and from the 4 tabs, if you combine 2 from the same tab, it's going to do damage for that weapon category. Makes sense, right?
Is there no flavor text that even like somewhat explain to you what these things do?
Not the additional bonuses. The secret bonuses are all not. I don't understand, and maybe I'm missing something on where that would surface, but like it's not on the fucking screen. That shit lights up when you're like activating this new bonus. But the new bonuses are really, really good. Some of them will make it so you essentially don't burn the mana when you have your flame rod out. And it just makes it extremely overpowered. So there are builds that are really interesting, but you do have to go to the internet to kind of see what some of those are. But they're awesome. They are really, really awesome. And there's just a ton of depth, because there are probably 50 different altar pieces, and it doesn't mean everything doesn't interact with each other, but there are plenty. When I was just scrolling down like the special ones, there's probably 15 to 20 different unique abilities that you can kind of unlock with this thing. It's really good. Having a good time with it. I did not finish it. I'm on the last boss, and he's a motherfucker. I had to retool a little bit because it's like kind of a crazy difficulty spike, because didn't really have any major issues, had a few pretty good bosses, and but would beat most of them in 5 tries or less or something like that. And this one, sometimes you fight a boss and immediately you're like, this is not a 5 tries or less boss. This is like a 40 try boss, and I need to go do some research and figure out how to actually fuck this guy up. And I did that and rekitted, and I have gotten it pretty close, but I haven't actually finished it. But I'm pretty high on it. I think it's a great game, especially for the screaming price of like $3 that I paid for it.
Sure.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I played the first one a little bit and liked what I played. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle for me. I didn't play it at release either. I played it I think I did the same thing, found it on a deal and messed around with it. You're absolutely right. It's very clear that we know a lot about religion as well. I just want to throw that out there.
Nothing.
We're very religious people over here at the Salt City Gamecast.
Nothing. I got nothing for you. Maybe if they make a game about Mormons, because we've grown up around them, then I can be able to tell you some shit. But
God, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's So I think a lot of that's lost on me. So maybe like someone who's super into God, super Christian or super Catholic would be like, this is cool, but then wouldn't they be offended? So I just don't know like who.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So at the beginning of the first game, you're just a dude with a regular head, and then that thing, the mask thing, like falls on your head, and it's really gross. Like the first game is just really gross, like lots of like gore and pretty violent game, which I appreciated. And and it felt good. I mean, I'm a big fan of Metroidvanias, and that one seemed like a good one for sure. I just never got around to it, and so that's good.
I meant to look at my playtime and I didn't, but it feels like 15 to 20, something like that I'm probably in.
Is it pretty heavy on platforming, or
it's there is plenty of platforming, and there are some pretty tricky ones. but not in the way of
Not like
an
Ori. Yeah.
It doesn't live and die on it, but there are some offshoots. If you're trying to 100% it, absolutely, there are some pretty difficult fucking sections that you have to be switching back and forth. And you know, I got this on the Switch because I really just want to see how I feel about the form factor of playing handheld. And while I hate how it feels in my hand, playing's fine. Like I've been able to do the inputs, the very difficult ones, so I kind of really can't complain about it. Besides, it just doesn't feel as cozy. But like, because I was on the fence on where I'm going to buy like Hollow Knight, right, or Silk Song when it comes out.
Sure.
And maybe I'm still on the fence on that. But it felt good. I've been having a good time. I'm like 98%, like as far as like 100%ing the thing, nearly there. And there's plenty of challenge throughout there. There's a lot of extra things, but it is in the same vein of a Dark Souls where there's shit that you just, unless you're gonna dig, you're not gonna know how to do some of it. So then I Google some of that where I'm just like, well, what the fuck do I do now? And it's like, oh yeah, now you can go do this, and this is like a 5-step quest, and then now you have this arena that you can go do, and you do 4 rounds of the arena, and you get some good shit.
Yeah.
And it would really take some digging to kind of do some of those things organically, which is always kind of irritating to me. Like, I don't know, like people get a lot out of that love these things because they can really dig, but I kind of don't have the patience for some of it where I'm just like, I want to know if I missed some shit. Have I missed shit? Tell me.
Yeah, I'm a big have I missed shit guy. It drives me nuts. Is there DLC for this thing?
Yes, and I read some reviews about it, and people don't particularly like it.
Okay,
but they think there's going to be more.
Oh.
So I don't know if I was going to mess with it just because the reviews were like, no good bosses, no good enemies, and I was like, well, okay, I guess I won't bother.
Sounds sweet. Sounds appealing. Sign me up.
I was like, oh, all right, no big deal. But
yeah, how do you feel like this falls in like the overarching hierarchy of these types of games for you?
I'm trying to think of it's better than Bow.
Okay.
It's not as good as Nine Souls. Not even particularly close for me.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other side-scrolling ones that we've been playing and talking about. And my brain's gonna be
Hollow Knight.
Blank. Obviously, it's nothing even close to Hollow Knight. It feels super, which is not a Souls game. It feels so much like Dead Cells, and I think they've actually even had a crossover DLC with those guys.
They have,
even in the way the guy breathes, how he just like he's always moving his shoulders and stuff. I'm just like, is this the same dude? Because
yeah,
a lot of it feels like it.
Isn't it crazy how many legs, for lack of a better term, fucking Dead Souls has?
That game's great.
I mean, it is fantastic.
I went back to it last year and did the Castlevania shit, and I was like, this thing still slaps. It's still good. Like,
yeah, no, it's good. It's just like surprising that it has lasted as long as it has.
I wonder when they'll do like Dead Cells 2, like, right? You'd think that would be
you would think so. I would think that that's definitely in the works, unless they just want to continue to pump out content for Dead Cells. I mean, if you compare it to where we played it, like back in the day when it first came out, I mean, it's pretty much like a whole nother game worth of content, maybe 2. So it's just nuts. But yeah, and they also are just doing all sorts of crossovers and fucking like the Castlevania one's weird. It's like, how did that come about? Like,
how did they? I mean, it makes it. I don't know that. I mean, it's not weird that it's weird that they pulled it off, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, like Castlevania, like for like, Castlevania and Dead Cells are very similar games. Yeah. It's weird, like talking to Konami to get the license for that. I wonder how difficult that was for them.
They'll probably do a Balatro crossover. Balatro's getting everywhere. They're bringing all kinds of guys in. Those
pretty sure that Balatro has Dead Cell stuff in it already.
Yeah, Balatro's done a lot of stuff. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I went back and played that game not too long ago.
Game rules.
It's pretty good. It's pretty goddamn good. I watched a video that was just insane of the best Balatro player,
like the best runs.
He has spent over 1,000 hours in Balatro, and he just knows everything. And so I can't remember what streamer content creator got him to come on and coach him, and just the shit that this guy had like committed to memory about how it all works.
The builds and things, like
Oh,
immediately be
dude.
like, oh, okay, now I'm going down this road. And,
Well, yeah, and just like super innocuous things that like you just take for granted in a given run, specifically in the shop, right? Just things where you would be like, oh, this seems good. I'll put this in. This will make sense. And him being like early on in runs, being like, absolutely never ever buy this because of like 100 different reasons of why. This branching tree of things that, like, just the amount of complexity that game has is just insane.
It's like understanding the waterfall effects thoroughly, because like or the snowball effect would probably be a better way to describe it, is understanding what is going to grow to a way where you, because whenever I have a run where I just dominate, it's when things get out of hand,
right?
And it's because I've built some jokers and things that grow organically off of how I play and stuff, and then exponentially you're just like, oh, I got it. There's no way I'm losing this run.
It's impressive to me when anybody commits that amount of time to any game, but to a game that has just so many mechanics, is so mechanic heavy. Just making those like granular decisions early on that can make or break a run, because it is that way, which you don't think about as like a plebe like myself. I'm just picking shit that sounds good that I hope works out. But this guy is just so calculated with what he picks and when he picks it and why he picks it. And he has an answer for fucking everything and the reasons why. I mean, the general rule of thumb to really get a deep run going, as far as he is concerned, is, which is not super surprising, but generating money as fast as possible. The more like cards and modifiers that gain you money each turn are going to pay off exponentially when you get into the deeper parts of a run where the blinds become much, much more difficult to kind of overcome, right? Because some of those blinds are just bullshit. You feel good, and then it's just like your entire build is just invalidated by like, spades are no longer effective here.
The boss blinds. The boss blinds will deactivate shit, or what gets you on the boss blind is the only one hand can be played, or no duplicate hands,
right?
And you've built this thing and you're like, but I'm the three of a kind guy. I'm not a pair guy. Like, this is all gonna fall apart real fucking quick.
Yeah, just insane. Like, it was a 3-hour stream. I watched the entire thing just on my couch, just sucked into this guy, and just being like, I don't understand. Like, you have to have a very specific mind for that stuff.
There's
probably do well in Vegas as well.
Oh, for sure. There's a few games that I just don't see me ever deleting, and that's one of them, where it's just, or like uninstalling, right? Because it's just like, well, it's always there, and there's always going to be a moment, and that could be in 5 years, but it's just like, yeah, and I guess I could uninstall it. Take 9 seconds to reinstall it, but the point is that it's just one of those games where you're like, yeah, I will probably play that every year, kind of forever, maybe ish.
It also has potential to like. And I think it already has done this to a certain extent, but like one of those games that's just so wildly good and solid. I just think it's brilliant to use like traditional deck of cards. Like anyone can relate with that. Your fucking grandma can relate with that, right? So I think that there is like a huge opportunity for it to like expand out further from just like the overall gaming community. I mean, it's on phones now, so like, give it to your mom that likes to play solitaire, and then get her over the fucking kind of the modifiers, like wrap her head around that. And like, there's no reason why somebody like that couldn't enjoy Balatro.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
My wife had 2 questions about it. I was playing it a lot. I think I played 70 hours or something like that, but she was like, you really love poker now. And I was like, yep. And then she said, are you playing for money? And I said, nope. She's like, okay, see you later.
You're on Poker Stars? Yeah. And I wonder, I don't think that guy would be, he seems pretty anti a lot of things from what I've seen. I don't think you'd be super stoked about like there being some sort of monetary implementation into Balatro, but you could potentially do it. Like, people smarter than us could probably figure that out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I wonder if there will be tournaments down the line where it's just like, who's the best at this? Probably the guy that I watched.
I'd watch it. It'd be entertaining.
I think, yeah, for sure. So
All right, let's take a break. We're gonna come back, talk about some games that we've already talked about, but we're still playing them. So fucking. Okay, we're back.
Yep.
There's no new games, so
Nope.
we're just
It's a barren wasteland.
we're just spinning our wheels over here.
Yeah. Sure. I've been busy, non-video game related stuff has taken up a lot of my time lately. So, it's not the worst thing in the world for there to be like not a whole lot that is really interesting to me. I did mess around with that Donkey Kong thing for about 20 minutes today.
Yeah, we're gonna need to talk about that. I will. My daughter's been so excited about it. Like, just she knows everything about it. She watched so many trailers leading up to it. She knows, and she just absorbs it all.
Yep.
So she knows everything. She already knew where Pauline was gonna come from. She's like, he's just coming out of that rock, Dad. And I was like, you sure she's in the rock? And she's like,
She's fucking in that rock.
She's in the rock, and we've gotten to that, and that game is unhinged, and it's very fun. From what I've played so far, we've played it each day. It just came out a couple days ago, so we're not very far, but it's very funny. And I think the only thing I have to say is I really like Donkey Kong's stupid look on his face when like shit's going down or people are talking, and he's just like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the redesign's real good. He looks a lot better, in my opinion, than like 90s Donkey Kong that they've just had since like Donkey Kong Country.
Sure.
So that's nice. My favorite thing, like within the first like 5 minutes of the game starting, he has pants on and then he loses his pants. And one of the minor monkeys that's with you is like, what happened to your pants, DK? And he's like, I don't fucking know. And it's just like, well, I guess we're going.
It's pretty fun. It's funny. It's an amusing game, and I think I highly doubt I will play this alone. I will probably exclusively play this with my daughter, but it works really fucking well, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it in depth on the next show. I intend to put some pretty solid time into it. It's Super Mario Odyssey, guys, so I am a huge fan. Maybe my favorite Mario game. Maybe it's close. It's definitely close. So yes,
I probably, if you lay them out today, because I've gone back and played Mario 64 today and wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But when Mario 64 came out, that was pretty
that was it was groundbreaking.
If I can compare the two experiences as I experienced them, then it would always be Mario 64, right? But I would be like, but I'm never going to go play Mario 64 through again.
Yeah.
We just tried like a week ago. I was like, I should show you this. And real quickly, my daughter and I were just like, this is bad. And so then we went and played Wind Waker, and she was super into it. And but then Donkey Kong came out, so I don't know.
Yeah, that cell shaded art style generally ages pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, it still looks pretty fine. The camera sucks a little bit still, but
yeah, I don't know. The Odyssey, the hat mechanics and like taking over different objects, I just think that was a great mechanic that really had a lot of good ideas attached to it. So yeah, no, just a big fan. And so and this thing's got its own hook as well, so very much looking forward to messing around with it more. But I've been fucking moving packages, Nick.
You're setting up a network.
Yeah.
And
yep,
that's I'm real excited to hear, because I just can't forget about how like the first one didn't grab you, and it seems like this one has got you.
Yeah,
it got you in a bad way,
for sure. I'm about 70 hours into 2 now.
Death Stranding, we're talking about.
Yeah, Death Stranding. If the package comment didn't make it clear,
there's one that came out like a year ago. There, you were like a post office person in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay,
so they could have thought we were talking
sure
about that, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. So 70 hours into this thing, a lot has happened. And a whole lot has not happened. So, yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that from that perspective. I mean,
the story.
Yeah, not a ton has happened in the story. I'm like halfway through the story. I've been very much slow burning the story. You mentioned like 30 hours. That's got to be just like mainlining. I saw like 100 to 20, 120 to 140 for a completionist run. And
Damn.
and yeah, I mean, I'm 70 hours in and I'm halfway through the story.
I wonder how much I played the first one. I did not 100% it, but I did not feel like there was this enormous amount of content that I had missed out on.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on here, and I think that this game has just kind of sucked me in and appealed to like some of the worst aspects of my personality when it comes to video games.
Checking boxes, or what?
Yeah, checking boxes. Like, so in each individual, like you'll basically get one big delivery to do. And it's like, go and link up this part of Australia into the network. And then when you do, there's like, it more or less serves as a hub base of operations for a bunch of surrounding settlements around that hub, right? And that's kind of how the loop goes. And I have basically just been 5-starring every single settlement before I move on, right? Which can get a little annoying.
I've seen some complaints that last star can be a little tough.
It is tough. It depends on the character, right? Some of them are super fast, which some of them make sense because they're a pain in the ass to get to.
Sure.
Like there's this guy called the Inventor that is in the middle of the Tar Lake, and like you can build a bridge across the Tar Lake, which is fine. But if you don't want to build a bridge, you got to like navigate the tar, and you got to use your Odaderic to view where on this giant tar lake you can move. And if you go into, it's yellow, it's marked in yellow. And if you stay in those yellow spots, then you won't sink. But if you go in the red, you sink. And I learned the hard way because I was like, why am I following this yellow? What's going to happen? And I fucking sank and lost like a full truck full of shit. And it really sucked. But yeah, some of them are really quick, like the Inventor.
Yeah.
It just like you do a couple of missions for him and then he's maxed out. And then there are others where it's like, oh my God, this last star is so fucking slow. How many fucking things of organic fucking beer and sake do you need before you just give me the 5-star rating for you? So it's frustrating from that perspective, but yeah, that's really what I've been doing. And then also focusing on infrastructure. Like I'm building roads, I'm building fucking rail lines for the mines. There's a bunch of mines all over the place that I've built.
Rail lines. So are they automatically bringing new ceramics and shit?
You go to the mine and you set up like a request once the mine is up and running and the track for the mine is all built. That takes a long time to get a full track from one mine to whatever settlement you want. But then once that happens, yes, you're getting like a constant stream of supplies. So if they go low, then it will slowly refill over time. It takes a while, but then you can also invest resources into the mine that will then give you more resources, right? So it's worthwhile. But yes, I've just become obsessed with that. Like I have built so many goddamn roads. My name is all over the fucking place. But it helps because it also boosts your stats for your bridge link, which is basically the stat that determines how much you're interacting with other players in the world, right? And every time they use your road, it's kind of annoying because it'll be like, somebody used your road. And it's like, great. How many people are playing this game right now? A lot. I think pretty sure a lot of people are using my fucking road. But yes, I have built roads everywhere. I have done well over half of the continent. So from that perspective, you know.
I've seen, I saw something recently that people can uninstall, demolish your zip lines.
Yeah.
While you're on them. I saw a video where they could do that off his packages.
Oh no.
And he was not low to the ground. I don't know what's going on with the zip lines because I don't remember being so high in the air from the first one. And in this video, this dude was like, he was way fucking up there.
Yeah.
And it just disappeared. And him and all his packages just fell to the ground. It was fucking funny.
I didn't know that. That's some trolly ass shit.
I've also seen some really funny stuff of people getting 5 stars on a settlement. And then the guy at the settlement's like, thanks, Sam. Looking forward to see you later. and people are like, "You will never see me again."
Yeah,
So,
and no, that's the
never
truth.
fucking coming back here.
That's another thing that's kind of frustrating because, like, when we talked about it, the first time we talked about it, each star level you're getting something sweet, right?
Sure.
Really good stuff, and it is evolved. Like where I'm at, 70 hours in, I have some crazy shit, dude.
And it's still going.
Oh yeah, it's still going. I'm still getting more shit. But the only problem is that the 5-star can be a little bit of a letdown. But then sometimes it's not. So it's infuriating, right? I would say the majority of the 5-star is just a patch. So you get a patch for your backpack. Then you also get the ability to put the character that's at the settlement into any of your hollow signs and things like that.
Yeah.
So if you're like, I want this guy to be by my generator and do his thing, then you can put him there, right?
You can see what's going on there, though, right? Like if the 5 stars are this hard to get, you can see why. One, it would be nice to get really good rewards, but you can see where from the developer side, they're like, well, we don't want people not getting the quadruple bazooka.
Yeah.
Like, I want to gate people out of this shit because
Sure.
they're not going to get the 5 stars.
But then sometimes you do a 5-star and you get an enormously useful weapon or item. So it just depends. And I'm sure I could go on look online on what settlements do it, but I just am like maxing them all out. So I have really been backseating the story for the most part. Like I said, I'll do all of the settlements in an area, 5 them out, and then I will go to the next like main big, story beat.
I mean, that's the example of the best open worlds I've ever played, is that's what's happened.
Sure.
Like Witcher, like those early Assassin's Creeds, and I really liked the Italy ones. Like you would just do everything,
yeah,
and then you're like, I begrudgingly I'll go do the story because you're just so hooked into everything else that's going on.
Yeah, which is weird because it's just delivering packages. But I will say that the terrain differences, and I think that Australia is a fantastic place to put a game like this because it's just so diverse in terms of the environments, like from one area to the next. You've got deserts, you've got snowy areas, you got everything, right? And so it's really cool from that perspective. I spent the last probably like 10-15 hours in this like giant desert in like the interior of Australia where no one lives. I didn't know this, but you know that pretty much like 90% of the population of Australia lives on coasts.
Really?
Yeah. So like there are massive swaths of uninhabited area in the middle, like in the outback. Just no one fucking lives there. Huh. And it's a massive space, like huge space that just, it's so volatile and hostile that people just have never wanted to live there in like big clumps.
Are there any kangaroos in this game?
There's tons of kangaroos. Yeah.
There's a kangaroo in Liza P. We don't need to talk about, but he's a fucking asshole.
Okay.
He's an absolute menace to society. And we'll talk about him later in a different show.
Yeah, no, there's lots of animals to catch. I had been searching for a koala for 30 hours and was like, where are the fucking koalas? Like, it's kangaroos or koalas. Those are probably like the most well-known animals for Australia, I would say. And I had not found one. And I was like, there's got to be fucking koalas. And then I found one singular koala in a goddamn tree. He was high up in this giant tree. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, how do I get to him? And so I was like, well, I'll drive my truck into the tree and maybe knock his little ass out of the tree. That didn't work. So then I was like, all right, I guess I got a ladder and it was absolutely glorious because I had to perfectly position the ladder up the tree and like
a firefighter. Safe cat.
And then Sam climbs up there and fucking grabs the koala. The animations for the animal capture, like there's emus as well. Those are my favorite ones because Sam walks up to him and he just grabs it by the neck and then like power bombs it onto the ground. And I was like, we're supposed to be rescuing these animals, not killing them. But yeah, so there's also like Pokemon elements here, which really, well, with the animals. So there's like certain areas on the map where you go and find like exceedingly rare animals. And so there's that. But additionally, there's BT capturing. BT capturing, where then you use BTs in battles for you. So they fight for you. But the way that it works is you get a grenade at a certain point in the story that when a big BT, so like bosses and things like that, and then like it's not necessarily just bosses, but there are like larger BTs, not just like the shadows floating around, but they're like big ass, like I'm a dolphin and an octopus combined, and like all this weird shit that that you have to fight. And if you throw one of those grenades in their mouths, it explodes, and then when you kill the monster, it captures them basically in like a little crystal, and then you can throw that crystal and then it just appears, and then you have a minion that fights for you. It's fucking awesome. Damn. It's really cool.
Did not know that's where we were going with this game, but that's
but yeah, so you there is like an element.
Is it actually a dolphin octopus?
Or it is a dolphin octopus, and I'm not joking.
Okay.
It's like a dolphin. It's a dolphin's body with like the tentacles of a squid or an octopus for its face.
Every tentacle has a dolphin on the end of it.
No. It's fucking grotesque and terrifying. But yeah, so there is that. So like whenever I used to run away from the BT encounters, because where I'm at, there's like 50-50 chance that the BTs, they will like group up and they will yank you into the tar, and then they drag you super far away from like your truck, because I'm always in a truck. Fuck walking. I'm always
to
in
the
a
well
truck.
Thing.
There's a well too, yeah. And then you get into a big fight with a monster, and if you throw a grenade into those monsters' mouths, you then capture them, and then you have them do your bidding, Nick. And it's great. It's really fantastic. But yeah, so I've just spent a lot of time just fucking messing around in the open world, and I've had a good time for the most part. There is some annoying aspects of it. I mean, the map is just huge, and so yes, there is plenty of infrastructure. I've pretty much built a road around the whole goddamn continent. There are a couple of places that I don't have roads yet, but for the most part, I'm roaded out. I've got zip lines everywhere. There's all sorts of different ways to traverse the environment. But there is also like intentionally, there'll be like stupid things happen where you've got the Magellan, which is a point of fast travel among a couple of different ways to fast travel. In this game, there's like 3 or 4 ways, which seems like too many ways to fast travel. My favorite way to fast travel is there's these hot springs that you unlock, and you get it in your PCC. So it's like one of the structures you can build, but you can't just build them anywhere. You have to find where there is like a reservoir of water, which can be very difficult. But once you build it, Sam gets in the fucking hot spring with Doll Man, and it is the funniest shit. Like, you can make Doll Man sing for you, and he does this. He changes his face to this, like, the best way to describe it is a middle-aged Japanese man, and he sings this fucking Japanese song, and Sam just like dances around to it, and it is incredible. But the hot springs all do different things. They have different benefits depending on where they're at.
Got it.
One of them is like high in chiralium, so it will give you more stamina. One of them will make it so you take less fall damage, like things like that, right? But you can also fast travel between them, where Sam just puts a bucket on his head that's in the hot spring, and he dives underwater, and then you can pick with any other within the network of hot springs. So anyways, there's lots of ways of fast travel. I just want to highlight that because it's just so wacky. But the Magellan, sometimes Tarman will be like, there's tar stuck in the fucking engines and we can't move. And then it's like, okay. So then it's like,
Tarman, this seems like your moment. Your moment in life. It's fucking work it out, Tarman.
Yeah. And it's like, we can't move the Magellan. And you're like, okay. And then it's like, and we need you to deliver this package on the other side of the fucking map. And you're just like, oh God. So then it's just like a lot of driving from one point to the next. And that's kind of, it's a little tedious, I will say. But I have enjoyed my time with it. Yeah, I'm still very high on the game. I would say like what I have seen of the story so far, it's still not super digestible shit. Sure. There is some incredible moments though, just visually incredible
set
moments.
Pieces type
yeah, there's some really cool stuff here that I've never seen done just visually in a game before.
I've really heard the last few hours of the game is the dumbest shit you've ever seen. So.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. The highlight so far for me is you meet a pizza chef from Japan, and you do missions for him. And the first thing that he gives you is just a fucking light machine gun, which is incredibly helpful. And then after that, he starts giving you pizza scrolls, which are basically ninja scrolls, but they're pizza related. And he has a form of martial arts that is centered around the art of cooking pizzas. And it is fucking ridiculous. But they're really effective, like in combat, like melee combat abilities that he teaches you. And it's just, there's this sequence with him where you go down into his pizza kitchen, and Troy Baker's character sends some baddies after him. And he just fucks up the baddies, but then doesn't realize that Sam is not one of them. And then there is this long...
You say Troy Baker's character?
Troy Baker is Higgs.
He's back.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
I took care of him in the last one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, he's the big baddie in this one again.
What?
Well, he's one of two big baddies.
Huh.
Then David Hayter, just Solid Snake is the other one. I'm kind of joking about that, but not completely.
I know there's a Solid Snake character that's just like, okay.
And he is absolutely, yes, he is the other bad guy. But there's this fight between the pizza chef and Sam that is fucking incredible, dude. Just the choreography and the way that it just keeps on going and going and going. And they're just using like
cutscene. Like,
yeah, it's a cutscene. It's a cutscene, but it's so fucking good. Just like all of these like objects that you would find in a pizza kitchen getting used in like combat. At one point, the pizza man, like the shovel to like shovel into the pizza oven, takes it and starts like spinning it around and beating Sam with it. And it is incredible. And then if you get all him leveled up all the way, he gives you a full pizza costume.
Oven?
So you
build an oven out in the thing.
No, you can dress as a pizza delivery man, and it is fucking fantastic.
It's gonna be a sad day when this man stops making games or dies, which I feel like I'd be surprised if he ever said I'm done, I'm retiring.
Yeah, he's gonna be like the guy from Studio Ghibli, Hayao Miyazaki.
I feel
that
like
will just keep on. He'll be like, I'm gonna retire, and then he'll come back and make more games.
Even if he's like bedridden, I think he'll still have his hand in crafting some stories. It's just I have a hard time seeing him ever not be in it somehow.
Yeah, there's a lot, like that's the thing. You toe a fine line between the ridiculous story elements of this game that still don't resonate with me, and then just the wacky zany shit that he comes up with that I absolutely am on board with, right? And most of it's just really funny off the wall shit, like the thing that I just described to you. There's a lot of that here. And I will say that it's very diverse in terms of like what you're doing when you get further into it. They throw a lot of different things at you, different things that you need to do. And so it keeps it fresh from that perspective. I'm definitely going to finish it. It's one of the better games that I played this year for sure.
Yeah.
I really, really like it a lot. I just wish there was a little less tedium. I'm still waiting, and maybe you get a faster vehicle, but there's only 2 vehicles still, and I've been using the pickup off-roader for fucking like 40 hours now, and I'm just like, you do get attachments for it, which are really helpful. We went golfing last week, and I was telling you that there's this sticky gun that you can attach to the off-roader, and
it just grabs everything, right?
Yeah, if there's a package in your vicinity, you don't need to get out and like put it on your back or load it into the truck. It just shoots the sticky string that attaches to it and puts it immediately in there. So that's really nice. There's things like that.
Are there any time challenges?
Yes.
Because that would be I could see how that would be something that would have legs if you also had a lot of different weapons or vehicles, right? So like maybe you have an extraordinarily unstable bullet bike, but it will get you there quick if you've got your path figured out and shit like that. That could be really cool if they had stuff like that.
There is some timed stuff for sure that I've ran into where it's like you got to deliver this in X amount of time and get it there as quick as possible. The pizza delivery man is a good example of that. It's like you got to get those pizzas piping hot to another settlement. So there's stuff like that. There's also like weird shit there. Like I did a sequence that was completely optional, not affecting the story at all, where it kind of emulated, like the end of Final Fantasy VII, the remake where you're on the motorcycle on like the freeway of Midgar and you're like swiping your fucking sword left and right. I did something that's very similar to that where I got on a motorcycle and had to fight these other motorcycles on this track and you were like racing around the track. It's very interesting. So there's a lot of diversity here. And you know, when we were talking about MGS5 and like just the like by the end of that game, just the amount of crazy shit that you had, like I'm not close to the end, you know, like I'm in chapter 8, there's 16 chapters. Yeah. And I have so much shit, like just so much shit that is just very fun, like really wacky shit. Like
is
a rubber
the combat
pizza.
ever fun though? Because I've never liked the combat in it. I complained about it in the last episode. Is that the combat
gets better?
Was the worst part?
It gets better because of the kit that you could employ.
Sure.
The combat never really changes from what it is at its baseline.
Sure.
But the weapons that you can employ are really, really fun. Some of the highlights for me is the silent sniper rifle that you get for 5-starring. That's another weapon you get for 5-starring the lone commander.
It's super fucking important because I got that other sniper and it's just like, yeah, but like this is a 50 cal. Everyone knows where I am every time I shoot it.
Yeah, the range of it is incredible, and the bullet drop is just perfect. So I've hit some like across the fucking map shots with the bullet drop, and you just watch the bullet just fall and hit someone in the head and knock them out. Very satisfying. There is it's basically a mine, but it's a little dog. So you throw it out, like if you're in the bushes, you throw it on the ground, it turns into a dog.
The bark.
Like not bark properly, but it makes dog noises, and then it attracts enemies, and then when they get up to it, it just explodes.
Can you make the dog noise that's not a bark?
Well, I'm not saying like it doesn't bark. It just like it makes dog noises. Like
I want to know what these noises.
I don't know, like fucking like
sniffing. Like
yeah, it sniffs and like I don't want to say moans, but it makes dog like noises.
Okay,
Nick.
all right.
That's really satisfying. You can load up grenades into packages, and then just like set the packages down, and then people will walk up to them and like check them out, and then they just explode, which is great.
Sure. It's good stuff. That's good shit.
Yeah, there's just a lot of really ridiculous things that you can use that make it more appealing for sure. But if you're not like super into the combat at its baseline, if you hate the combat at its baseline, it's not dramatically shifting. You know, I think that's the weakest part of the game still.
That's what I was going to say. I just think that the combat is not why you're playing the game. It's not,
yeah, because it's so sparse, right? Like the BTs, like you get to a certain point where things happen in the story where BTs are way more common in the environment. So you have to deal with them more frequently. In the early hours of the game, you really don't run into them that much. And then there's like a switch that's flipped, and then they're all over the place. But then the like enemy encampments, they're so sparse. There's not many of them. Like I probably ran into, in the 70 hours, there's probably like 6 or 7 that I've ran into, and they're all the same. But I will say there's something that also goes on where another flip is switched. A switch is flipped, where they start employing different tactics. And they get better equipment and things like that. So it's not exactly the same. There's also different enemy types. Like there's like your basic raider encampments, and then there are different enemy types outside of the BTs.
Sure. That
pose different challenges and things like that. So there's a decent amount to sink your teeth in terms of the combat. But yes, I would agree. It's not that draw here, but it's nice to have it. I don't think the game would be nearly as compelling if there was no combat, right?
No, it definitely needs something. The first one wasn't too bad, but there were some of these dream sequences with Mads Mikkelsen, which were pretty terrible. But
there's lots of dream sequences in this one too.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
With the guy that looks like Solid Snake. And those are basically boss fights. I'm a little disappointed because it's more or less the same thing each time. He's got like dudes with him. You got to take out the dudes, and then you got to take him out. But the thing that is different about those sequences is what's happening around you, right? Like they do some really cool things with like switching up the gameplay to make it feel unique. Like the last one I did, I was like in the ocean underwater, So I had like really floaty or weighty movement,
Sure.
but could jump a lot higher in the water, which was fun because you
Hmm.
just like super jump all over the place. And so there's cool stuff like that. But yeah, it's you should check it out if you have any interest in this. It's a weird one, but I think that it's definitely one of the better games this year that I played.
It's nice that it's well received. It's nice to he's seeing success and iterating on something that was super interesting the first time he made it. So it's
Yeah.
nice to be like, yeah, he's just built it out, and it's
I wish that
seems
was one
great.
thing I would say is I wish I had a little bit more point of reference for the first one in
Sure.
terms of being like, was this here in the first one? It's cool too
Like what
because
is completely new and what isn't.
yeah,
Sure.
because like some of it, it's cool because it's for me the first time I've ever seen it, but I just don't
Mhm.
know if it was in the first game or not, right?
For
So,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. Well, my life is basically we record a podcast. I play a new game until I've finished it or gotten far enough to be ready for the show. And then I'm like, awesome. I have, in the case of this week, 4 days to go get more endings of 100th Line. Because in reality, all I actually want to be doing is playing that game. I thought I was 90 something hours in the game. I told you that in a text. And something happens with the Steam Deck with going to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand it because then I knew that I had told you I was 90 something, and then I exited the game completely, and then it was like 78, and I was like, well, what happened? But anyway, I don't understand what's going on behind. But anyway, I think I'm at this point 80 something hours into the game. I have no interest in stopping. It's just this. It is absolutely insane what they've created here. It's the most ambitious branching story that is. I don't know how you could ever say, well, this one is more ambitious or more elaborate or more in depth. It's not possible.
Mhm.
It just isn't possible. You can't make it, at this point. I only have 16 endings. And there's 100, and I just don't like. I rattle like I cruise through like 5 endings down one path. Like at the end of hours and hours, and then over the course of a couple hours, I got 5 endings. But a lot of these is they've gone all the way to 100 days now. This whole thing's all about playing 100 days. I've probably played 300 and something days at this point.
Right.
And it's very interesting. Some of the endings are dumb as shit. Some of them are, it's basically just like they had a storyboard when they were coming up with the story of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone threw out ideas. And then they were like, yeah, they're all good. We're just going to put them all in the fucking game because it's just everything is here. Because at any scenario where you're just like, this dude's being a dick, and the game's like, want to kill him? You want to murder that fucker? Because we could just murder him and see what happens in the story. And you're like, kind of. And then you do it and see that people are crying and shit. And it's just like, it's absolutely insane. I can't believe it. And then it doesn't help that he did an interview with Jason Schreier on, is he Bloomberg? I think he's Bloomberg.
Yes.
And originally, and I forget the Danganronpa, the guy, I forget his name, so I apologize. But he originally, before, like right as the game came out, he's like, I went in debt a lot because he said after Danganronpa, he started his own thing, went into a lot of debt, and he was like, I don't even know if I'm still gonna be around. And he's now changed his tune to say we're doing okay. And I want to support this for 5 years, adding more endings. And I'm just like, oh no, don't do that. Like, am I ever gonna fucking get anywhere on this thing? But I mean, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite game of the year, which seems crazy because it's basically a book. I mean, the combat's fun, and I'm still really enjoying it, and I'm really fucking good at it at this point. Like my guys are very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It does with the replays, like the difficulty comes up. They have that's built into the story. It's all explained, which is interesting. But they do a pretty good thing, and then we can probably move on from it. But sometimes a branching path will still have you essentially have the same fight with a boss, okay, with like your cast of characters that survive to that point. So instead of 10, I've got 7, and I've spent 5 hours to get these 7 guys here, and then I make a few choices. Once I've killed the boss once, it allows me on another path that says, hey, you've done this exact fight, you want to skip it, which is nice because you're just like, yeah, we'll just go ahead and skip that fight if I've already done that exact combination of characters against him. And that's only happened a few times, but
So there's still a lot of combat in the branching. Yeah.
There's a ton. Like
Yeah.
there's a ton of reasons to fight, and it's all pretty interesting. And there's a lot of different. It's not just like, it's not all just new written shit. It's all new people. It's when I finished the first game and I got the credits, immediately there was an enormous amount of names crossed out. You couldn't read them.
Mm-hmm.
Like half.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, who the fuck are they? It's the cast you haven't met. And then as you play other endings, it's like, whoop, now you've met Dave.
Wow.
And then it's like showing you these other characters. I just met more people that live around here. And I'm like 80 hours in. It's like, oh yeah, now we're going to credit them in the credits. And it's like, this is crazy. And the only thing that keeps breaking my brain is I'm just like, I'm 16% of the ending. It's like, where is this going to go? Because I do feel like I've gotten I understand what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like whether that was luck, but around ending 12, I had done a path that explained a lot, and there's not a lot of redundancy so far. Like as far as like, oh, I'm watching my characters learn the same shit that I already learned on a different path. Like they don't do that. I don't know how you can keep that up the whole thing, but it's very interesting, and I am just very happy that I'm playing it, and will probably play it for the rest of the year and try to get
Probably play it for the rest of my life.
I just don't know. Like I can't imagine not wanting to get all 100.
Yeah,
because I'm so committed, and I'm just like, it's just too interesting. And
well, if they're good, I mean, yeah,
they're all just fascinating because and there's absolutely arcs. These endings are focused more on certain people because you've gone down certain paths and stuff.
Yeah,
you'll even get achievements like, oh yeah, I did Dave's arc, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good game is good.
Yeah, interesting. I definitely want. I liked what I played. I just need to get back to it.
It's a thing you should just chip away at because it's magical. And maybe I'll check back when I'm at like ending 50, and I'll just be like, well, everything's changed. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm glad. I think that's all the games. You got anything else going on?
No, I think that'll probably wrap it up for this week.
Probably going to do it. All right. Well, thank you for listening. You should probably come and join the Discord. Tell us what you're playing. There should be a link in the show notes, or if you're watching on YouTube, in our bio, there's a link there. That's going to do it. That's Gamescast 156.